I have been in a crazy amount of pain. The last week or so. Last few days have been brutal, almost unbearable. It's pretty amazing how much the body can endure. It's pretty amazing too how many pills I have to take just to knock the edge off. I've been visited the pain clinic last week or 2 weeks ago, and got another new doctor. And I go back next week for shots. And in the meantime, she's up to my medicine. And how pretty is that? So between resting and a heating pad and ice packs and handfuls of pills and sleeping and working and resting and heating pads and ice packs and resting and working and rinse and repeat. It's just one of those cycles that I go through. It's just one of those things. For those of you that may have not watched any of my previous videos, I have been dealing with chronic pain for the better part of 2 decades. And it's just getting worse. There's some deer right there on the other side of that ridge. But I go through these cycles. It's nothing new. But I've been thinking a lot about suffering and about pain and the purpose of pain, the purpose of suffering. Spend a lot of time praying about it, reading about it. It's a nice piece of quartz. And I think what I'm learning, I used to get angry about it. I used to get bitter about it. And but in this recent go around, I found myself not getting angry, not even getting anxious, not even having any panic attacks, but just being okay with it. Learning how to just being patient. I'm by no means perfect, and I certainly have not arrived, but it's an interesting development. I think of what St. Paul says, that our light afflictions are but for a moment and serve for a greater weight and glory. I hope that's true. St. James and St. Peter talk about trials of your faith, and the difficulties that we go through help us to increase in patience and virtue and lead us to a stronger hope. And I feel that this go around, that there's that there's hope. I was thinking today, you know, I don't want to waste my pain. I don't want to waste my physical pain. I don't want to waste my suffering. I don't want to waste this opportunity to give God the glory even in the midst of these difficulties. I just happened to come across a video of someone talking about Saint Thérèse of Lisieux, and it's pretty beautiful. Sun coming through the trees. That's glorious. That's beautiful. Can we just appreciate that beautiful light? So beautiful. And I had thought I had read that book, the book that about Saint Thérèse and the sufferings that she had to endure and things that she had to deal with. But maybe I didn't, because in the video he was talking about how that he's talking about Saint Therese's suffering and how that Saint Therese believed that our suffering is a gift from God, and that God only gives these things to people that he's friends with, which is an incredibly difficult saying. It's incredibly hard to really comprehend that. But you can't read the New Testament without seeing the amount of suffering that the apostles went through, people went through, the teachings of, the Lord Jesus suffered, and he gave us an example that we should follow in his steps, that we have to pick up our cross and follow him daily. The cross is death. The cross is death to self, death to this world, death to our own desires. Saint Therese uses this example. She talks about the child Jesus as and that she is just basically a toy. I think she uses the example of a ball, but as a toy for the young Jesus. And he can do with us whatsoever he wants to. He can play with us, he can kick us, he can throw us in a corner and forget about us. He can cut us open, see what we're made of, see what's inside. That's a good metaphor. There's lots of quartz. I think that's quartz. It's beautiful. It's all over the ground. But one of the beautiful things that she says in the midst of all that shocking, all the midst of the shocking metaphor is that the child Jesus, when he goes to sleep, he dreams about the ball, dreams about the toy. And when he awakes, he sees it on the ground, and he gets it, and he brings it close to him. He brings it close to his heart. And I find that to be a beautiful picture, beautiful metaphor of this time. I can't say that about other times, but I can say it about now, where it feels like you've just been kicked and discarded, but in some strange way, the Lord is using these difficulties, this body pain, this pain body, these difficulties, all these trials and doctors and procedures, and to bring me closer to Him. And I don't want to waste that. I don't want to waste the pain. Because ultimately, I'm bought with a price, and I'm not my own. The Lord Jesus bought me, redeemed me, shed His precious blood, suffered hell, resurrected, is making a place for me. And even in the midst of that, He takes the time to comfort and to bring me close. And really, it's just the facts of understanding that I'm not my own, that I'm His. In the metaphor of Saint Thérèse, I'm His toy, and He can do with me whatsoever He will. And I think about Jesus in the garden, going through the suffering of the agony of wanting the cup of suffering to pass from Him, but He says, Father, not my will, but your will be done. And I find myself saying that, Lord, whatever you want to do. Use me, don't use me, discard me, break me. But don't let this be in vain. Don't let me waste this time. Even in the midst of pain, in the midst of difficulty,